Intergenerational Podcast. I'm Katrina.
I'm Rachel, and boy, we have been gone for a hot minute. I don't know where I was going with that sentence. There were like 8 different ways I wanted that sentence to go, and I tried to incorporate all of them.
Oh boy.
And that's on being indecisive. Oh, I tried to take off my sweater without taking off my headphones, and now my sweater's just trapped on my head.
Oh.
Give me a sec to unhook the cord. Don't say anything important because I won't hear it. But, that was a interesting moment. I was like, if I just slip it off, then it'll be fine. Yeah, no.
No.
2.5, almost 3 years into this, and I still don't know what I'm doing.
My recording volume keeps, shifting all the way down.
Whatever you just did made it pop back up, though.
Yeah, but now it's down again.
It's not terrible. Mine's low, but it's the same low that we've been having for a while. Technical difficulties! Pew, 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 pew. Have to be gone for 3 weeks? Was it 3 weeks?
I think so, probably.
Well, technically, I think it was 2 weeks. Didn't we say? It was 2 weeks, but it's been 3 weeks since we recorded.
Yeah. So.
We love that. I don't know how that math works, but I think it sounds right.
I guess we'll find out.
We will find out. How have you been?
I've been pretty good.
We haven't talked to each other at all.
Yeah, my
no major life changes.
No major anything. Going back to school after being on break is weird because it didn't feel like a break because I've been at home this whole time.
Yeah.
And then, they were just... I was like, okay, I'm still at home. And then you had to go back to school. And I was like, oh, haha, I have to get up at 7:30 now. After not getting up until 10 for, weeks at a time. But,
Katrina, I wake up at 6:10 every morning.
Could not be me.
Well, I have to, because the stomach medication I'm on, I have to take 30 minutes before I can eat or drink anything, and then I have to eat something 15 minutes before I'm allowed to drink coffee, or it burns my stomach, and then I become a cranky pants for the rest of the day.
Oh.
Yeah, we love health problems. Speaking of health problems, I woke up, this past Friday with an allergic reaction.
Oh.
My whole face broke out in hives. We still don't know what caused it. I went to work, and it wasn't terrible. I'll send you pictures of it. Have I not sent you pictures of it?
I don't think so. I think you told me about it, though.
Okay, so, my face was red, but it kind of looked like I'd just gotten out of the shower, so I was like, huh, that's weird. And then I showed my mom, and she was like, that's hives. And I was like, oh. So then I went to work, and, I have to wear my mask, and at one point, I took my mask down to, look in the mirror, and it had spread from just under my eyes to all down my cheeks because of the heat of the mask.
Oh.
So then my boss, luckily I was on overtime, so she was able to send me home. But she was like, go to the doctor. And I was like, okay. So I left work at 10. And then I went to the doctor that afternoon, and she was like, yeah, it's an allergic reaction. No idea what's causing it, because I haven't changed. She was like, do you wear makeup? Do you have a new anything in your skincare routine? And I was like, I literally have bought the same moisturizer for 4 years. Yeah. Because I have sensitive skin, and my skin breaks out really badly when I try new things. And she was like, well, don't try anything new. Here's some steroids to help the hives go away. And I was like, thanks. But yeah, that's my life right now. I had an allergic reaction. I'll send you the pictures on Snapchat.
Okay.
But yeah, it was interesting. And you can still kind of see it on, one side of my face. It was weird, because one side of my face broke out a lot worse than the other. And it happened, overnight.
Yeah.
So, this first picture is when I first woke up, and I was like, that's weird, but I wasn't too concerned. And then after I was at work, it got really bad. And my boss said I was scaring the children. Oh. And then, this last picture it had cleared up overnight, and the picture I just sent was from yesterday, Saturday. And then I went to my EMT exam, and because I was in my mask all morning, it flared up again.
Oh.
So my doctor did tell me, stay home as much as you can, because I don't want you wearing your mask if you can avoid it, because it'll get your face too hot.
Yeah.
So that's fun. I have another 3 days of steroids.
Yay.
Yeah, but steroids make me wired, And I've already had coffee this morning, so when I was typing, I felt like one of the movies of a girl where she's typing really, really quickly and being super cool, because I was like, pew, 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 type words! Just like that. So yeah, that's been my past 2 days.
Fun.
Oh, I passed my EMT psychomotor exam.
Yay!
So now I just have to pass my written exam, which is Tuesday the 19th. So if y'all want to send me good vibes, it's 8 a.m. on Tuesday the 19th. And then if I pass that, I'm good to get nationally certified. I just have to write to the state and show them my proof of completion. And they say, okay, here you go, and give me my license.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm very hopeful. But also, I don't know how to study. And I have to study all the information in this giant textbook that I have. Or at least I have to be able to recall this information. It's over 1,000 pages. And I have 9 days, and I don't know how to study. So, please send good vibes and study tips.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, anything new with you?
Not really, besides school and, Ooh, I did start streaming on Twitch.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if we were getting to favorite things or not yet, but...
I mean, sure.
Yeah, that's my
I was
favorite
actually
thing.
gonna lead to the other announcement we have, but sure, we can talk about favorite things.
Okay.
We can make them wait.
We can, yeah, make
At this
them
point,
wait
they
for
should
the
already know
announcement.
if they follow us on Twitter, but, that's neither here nor there. Although I guess I didn't specifically announce it on Twitter.
You just put the eyes emoji.
Uh-huh. But if you
Because-
pay close attention,
Then you know
where
why.
it's from. Yeah.
But we'll get there eventually.
Will we? Or will we continue to torture? Anyway, what's your favorite thing
Anyway,
this week?
my favorite thing this past few weeks has been streaming on Twitch, because I started streaming, my first stream was
Christmas
on
Eve.
Christmas Day, actually.
Oh yeah, it was Christmas Day, sorry. I knew it was one of the two, I just couldn't remember which.
Yeah, and yeah, I've only been able to play the, Papa's restaurant games, like Papa's Freezeria, Papa's Cheeseria, all those games, because that's all my laptop can really handle, because streaming takes up a lot of the CPU, and so do games, and so I tried streaming Minecraft once, and it just did not go well, so we're sticking with the stuff that won't crash my computer.
I guess Sims is out of the question.
I haven't done a test stream with, other games, but I should do that.
Well, if you have your second monitor.
Yeah, that doesn't help the CPU at all.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know how things work. But couldn't you set the stream up on one monitor and your game up on the other? I know there's a way to do it.
That's what I do, but it's all, off of the same computer, so it's, the monitor isn't a separate computer, it's just the same thing. But, yeah. I'm really, really close to Twitch affiliate, actually, so if you're not following,
nice.
You could follow me at twitch.tv/McKinsey.
I love that you used McKinsey.
Yeah.
You were McKinsey 3 years ago when I met you. Almost 3 years ago to the day, because I joined on my mom's birthday, which is January 25th. So that's wild.
Yeah.
And you were McKinsey then, and everyone thought your name was Mackenzie.
Mackenzie, yeah.
And they still do. We have a whole podcast, and they still think your name is Mackenzie.
It's so funny, because, on stream the other day, one of... I was, what was it? Somebody in my chat was like, is your name Kenzie? Just asking. And I was like, no. I get that a lot, though. A lot of people are like, is your name Kenzie? And I'm like, actually, it's not. It would make sense if it was, but I like to make things difficult for people, so no.
Clearly. You could pick a different nickname now. You are almost 17.
But my brand... That's what
Again,
a lot of people know me as, so I would feel weird.
But you're also only almost 17, so you definitely still have time to change that. And you know what? Now would be a great time to change that, because we are at a transition period.
True.
Do we want to talk about our transition period, or should we keep ignoring it?
We could talk about it, I guess.
Okay, so PerspectiveofZ is joining the WBNE network.
Yeah!
Pew pew pew! Pew pew pew! The, like, air horn. Pew pew pew! And maybe Rachel will learn better sound effects. Yeah, so that's happening. We haven't officially, well, it's been officially announced. Well, no, it's been unofficially announced on a Twitch stream by WB&E. It has not been made Twitter official yet.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, it's happening in the next couple weeks, which is exciting.
Yeah.
And if you haven't checked out the other WB&E podcasts, I highly encourage you to do so. There are 5 currently, correct?
I think so.
Before we joined? Because I think they're going up to 8. Because it is... That's What I'm Talking About. Sincerely Us. Late to the Party. Bacon and Eggs. Hello from Elsewhere. Am I forgetting
Bagels.
Anyone? Bagels. Well, they stopped producing that.
True.
So yeah, I think it is just 5, and then there are 3 more joining. It's Unsobered Pod, hosted by Julia Kendall. I think it's Curly Critics.
I think
is the other one joining. Yeah, Curly Critics Podcast is joining. And that's hosted by, I think it's Kari and Jade. And then we are joining Perspective Z, your favorite generational podcast.
Yeah.
Available most Mondays wherever you get your podcasts, and now on Spotify. Yeah. So that's exciting, and we're very excited for it. It's... I don't know, I think it's definitely something we've been working towards. I don't know about you, but I've been working towards it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're excited. Well, go ahead.
It was weird because you know how last year I wrote like a letter to myself every month so I knew like what was happening every month. I reread the January of 2020 and when I was talking about Perspective Z, we were like a lot of they just announced WB&E and we're kind of disappointed that we're like not part of it yet, but we get it. And then that was like the day that they asked us is right as I read that.
Aww. That's so cute. Yeah, there were just some logistical things with our age and everything, but we've got it worked out now.
Yeah.
Which is fun and cool and dandy. Yeah. Would you like to ask my favorite thing?
Yes, what's your favorite thing, Rachel?
My favorite thing is passing my psychomotor exam, which I did yesterday. Which means, okay, so to get my national certification, you have to complete the class. Then you have to complete a bunch of skills, and you do that during, like, your labs in class, and you have to have each skill demonstrated to you once, and you have to be able to perform the skill correctly 3 times, and have that signed off. Then you have to take your psychomotor exam. There are 7 sections, well, there are 6 sections you must show proficiency in, and there are 4 sections, they pick one at random and you show proficiency in. So your required ones are a full medical assessment, a full trauma assessment, then you do, applying an oxygen mask, then you do BVM ventilation, which is the bag valve, where you, like, squish it, and when you have a code blue on hospital drama TV shows, they get that big blue bag out.
Yeah.
Because it's usually blue on the hospital things, but fun fact, all the ones I've ever used have been yellow. I don't know if it's, like, a cheap thing or because we're students or whatever, but I've only ever seen yellow ones. So there's that, so that's 4. And then the 5th one is 1 rescuer CPR and operation of an AED. Then you have spinal immobilization of a supine patient. So someone's laying on their back, you have to be able to put them on a backboard successfully without furthering the injury. Or you at least have to be able to show you know how to do it. Because obviously they're not going to give you someone for your practice exam, or for your exam to show competency that's actually in distress.
Yeah.
And then your 4 optional ones that you don't get to pick, they pick it at random, are bleeding control and shock management, and that's 1. Spinal immobilization of a seated patient, so like if someone's in a car accident. Then there is long bone immobilization and joint immobilization or something. I don't know. The one I got that was random was long bone immobilization, and I was hoping to get bleeding management and shock control because it's so easy. It literally, you get 10 minutes to do, or no, you get 5 minutes to do that one. And every time I practiced it in class, going through the full checklist and being evaluated like it was the real thing, it took me 45 seconds.
Oh.
It's so easy. It's literally just like, they're bleeding. Okay, so you put gauze on it, and you have to specifically state you do not remove gauze, you just continue to add more. Because by removing the gauze, you're removing some of the clotting agents, which basically just means the bleed starts over. So if someone's ever bleeding, you add more on, you don't ever take it off. And you apply direct pressure, and then the person giving the exam says direct pressure does not work, or does not control the bleeding. So then you grab the tourniquet, you strap that on, and you specifically say, I will write down the time that I applied the tourniquet, because you have to do that, and a lot of tourniquets actually have a spot for that. And then the examiner will say, bleeding is controlled with the tourniquet, but the patient is now hypotensive, which means they're going into shock. So, you lay them in the supine position, which is laying on their back, then you keep them warm, you add blankets, you give them high-flow oxygen, 15 liters per minute on a non-rebreather mask, and transport that booty to the hospital. That's it. That's all that one is. It's so quick and easy. Whereas the medical and trauma assessments, it takes you 10 minutes to go through them.
Oh.
So it's just, it's so simple, and I'm annoyed that I didn't get that one. But I still passed, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was fun, and now I have my written exam that I gotta study for. No idea how to study, so, like, that's fun. Yeah. I don't know. It's, like, it's weird, because I was actually thinking about this right before we started the call. Like, this podcast, since we started it so young, we're gonna be able to watch our, like, life goals and plans change and evolve.
Yeah.
And this is one thing I never thought I'd be striving for. Actually, at one point I did want to be an EMT. In, like, middle school, I wanted to be an EMT or a paramedic. And then I decided I didn't want to because I didn't know what the training was. And here we are now. Me halfway to getting EMT certified. And I don't know, it's just super weird that, like, our plans, especially this year, have changed a lot.
Yeah.
But just, you know, we're gonna have, even if we stop this tomorrow, we can look back 10 years from now and know what we were thinking freshman, sophomore year of high school.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Which is, it's crazy. It's like some people that vlog their families, but we're not infants. We're just, like, you know, cute kids. Well, not like cute kids. That sounds weird. You know what I mean. Like, we're just, you know, some fun teenagers living our best lives.
Learning about the world.
Giving our perspective on the world.
Wow, it's almost like that's the reason we started the podcast.
Well, actually, we started a podcast because you needed a project.
True.
But, you know.
It's the
was
thought
that
that
your
counts.
freshman year or your sophomore year?
That was my sophomore year.
Okay. I can never remember. I guess that makes sense if we're going on
Yeah,
here.
because we knew each other for, like... Did we only know each other for, like, 6 months, and then we were like, hey, let's start a podcast?
Pretty much. Well, yeah. Well, because I joined... I think I'm going on my 3-year anniversary.
Yeah.
In... Super Carlin Brothers.
Because I was a freshman when I joined. And you were a sophomore. So that
I was a
makes
sophomore.
sense.
So then 6 months later, it was the summer before your sophomore... I gotta go see if my mother's alright. That was a loud noise. And she's moving bookshelves. Apparently the shelf fell, but she's fine.
Okay.
That's pretty much the reaction I just had. It's like, okay.
Alright.
I'm gonna go back to recording now. But yeah, I think we would have only known each other like 6 months.
That's
Because it
wild.
was 2018, was it not? Or was it 2017?
I think it was 2018.
No, it's not. Here, let me go check. Because now you can search by first, not last, in Discord. Man, I love that everyone used to think you were, like, this whiz on
I just knew how
Discord.
to use the search feature. Everyone was
okay,
like,
so it was
wow,
2018.
Kidsy knows when everyone joins, but really I just knew how to use the search feature, and I was like, I'm really not doing anything, and everyone's like, ooh, she's the almanac. I just know how to use the search feature. What do you even mean?
Okay, the crazy thing is scrolling back and seeing all the white names of people that are no longer in the server.
Yeah.
Like when I'm on my spot. Crazy. But yeah, I joined January 25th, 2018, and Katrina, you were the first one to say anything to me.
Uh-huh. And I was very proud of that.
Yes, you were.
I was like, I was the first one to talk to Rachel in the server, actually, so...
So this is why we have a podcast together. If it had been anyone else, I would have started a podcast with them. That's how it works, Katrina. Jeez. It's just fate that you were the first one. Yeah, so that's crazy. We literally knew each other for 6 months, and then we were like, you want to enter into this year-long commitment, at least? And it was like, sure!
And here we are now.
Yeah, 2.5 years later.
Wild.
That's crazy. That is nuts. I mean, like, I'm not a person to be, you know, end of the year, January of the year, that's like, oh my gosh, we've grown so much. But, like, this specifically we have.
Yeah.
And cracks
it's not
me up that you
necessarily
stream
just
now.
this year. It's just,
I know.
like...
Yeah, it's the 3 years that we've known each other. It just so happens that January is when we first met.
Yeah.
Air quotes. Because technically we met in June of 2018.
Yeah.
2018? Really?
Yeah. I think so.
Oh, yeah! Yeah, okay. I couldn't remember if we'd started the podcast before
we
met
knew
in
each
person.
other for 6 months and we were like, hey, wanna meet up?
Well, okay. You were going to the SCB meetup in DC. And then
Yeah.
I was gonna see you on the way there, and then my niece decided to be dramatic and almost die. Actually, she was fine. It was Jessie that almost died. She makes us celebrate her death day every year, or her almost death day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Technically it was like an almost death 2 days, because there were 2 days where she was a little touchy, but then by the third day she was fine. But yeah, Heartbreak decided to be a little dramatic. So we had to push it to the way back.
Yep.
Yeah. And we ate at the machine shed with the giant corn.
The giant corn.
I love that corn.
Anyway.
What's your favorite song this week, Katrina?
My favorite song this week is Vibes by Zayn, because he just released it, like, a couple days ago, and he's putting out his next album in, like, 2 days, so I'm very excited for that.
I'm shocked it's not Driver's License.
I almost put it as Driver's License, but I was like, well, both of the songs just came out, and so I was like, I don't know which one to put, but, yeah.
Fun fact, I haven't listened to... Like, I love Olivia, but I don't know, I'm not in the mood right now.
Yeah.
And that kind of sounds, it feels mean to say, but also, like, I don't owe people things, just, like, by, you know, like...
Yeah.
How people are like, you don't have to finish a book you start just because you started it, like, you don't owe that book anything. It's kind of like that, but with music artists? I don't know. I'm weird with music.
Yeah.
I like my country, and I kind of just stick to that. Anything you'd like to ask me, Katrina?
Yes, what's your favorite song this week, Rachel?
My favorite song this week, surprise to no one, is She's Country by Jason Aldean. It's not a new song. Like, not even a little bit a new song. I want to say it was popular when I was, like, 10. When did it come out? No, I guess it came out in... No, it came out in 2012. 2008. So, you know, I was literally 6 when this song came out. And it's just... It's great. It's just a very classic country rock song. Also, that's one thing I love about country. People are like, country is so modern now. And it's like, no, that's because you're listening to stadium country. Country itself has, like, 50 subgenres inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because there's country rock, stadium country, blues country, there's, I don't know, there's one that's, like, specific only to Louisiana. I don't know, there's just a ton of country to listen to. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. What should we talk about next?
Just trending. I mean...
You froze, did.
You did too.
She froze. She done frozed it. Like Frozen. You froze. Like Frozen. Like Anna and Elsa.
You froze too, but I told you that. But you didn't hear me, apparently. I could
No,
still
no,
hear
I did
you,
not.
but I
Did
couldn't
you hear
see
me?
I could hear you.
Oh,
and
okay. Yeah, no, I couldn't
you
hear
were
or
just
see you.
frozen.
Let it go. Let it go. Okay, so you know how that, like,
difficulties.
our age group is exactly the target age for those movies? My 2-year-olds try and come in with their Frozen 2 stuff. They're Finding Dory things. I'm like, no. They're Toy Story 4 toys, like little Forkies. And I'm like, This is not for you. You can have your Moana.
Not you gatekeeping.
A little bit when they act like... I have one girl who, I swear, she was meant to be an 1800 debutante. Like... She is so prim and proper all the time, and it cracks me up to watch, because she turns 3 in next week, I think. But she, since I started in August, has always just been this, like, princess debutante girl. Like, just little Miss Perfect over here.
Yeah.
But she likes to come in and tell me she knows more about Frozen than me, and I'm like, no, you don't get the funny jokes like I do. You don't get the adult humor in there. Yeah, she can have one. What's another one that just came out that is, like, very kid-geared? See, but I like Moana, too. But I'm not the target age group for Moana. We are literally the target age group for Frozen 2.
Yeah.
Recent Disney movies. Because Soul, I don't feel like kids right now like Soul.
That was a good movie, though.
It was, but it's not a little
it's not
kid
a kid's
movie.
movie, yeah.
No.
They wouldn't necessarily get it.
No, I definitely don't think they do. None of my kids have come in and told me about it. Because it's just, like, it's not a dark... I mean, it kind of is a dark movie, but it's not... It's not Moana. You know?
Yeah.
It's not Toy Story 4. Or Onward, which actually I don't think they... Oh, Coco's another new one. They can have Coco. I love it, but they can have Coco. They cannot have Thor Ragnarok. No one should have Thor Ragnarok. Moana came out in 2016. Katrina,
Really?
that's 5 years ago.
Shut up. No, I disagree.
Okay, technically released 2016. But it was set to release in 2015, I guess. Wait, I said 2016, didn't I? That's still 5 years ago. No. That's so crazy. I hate looking at film release dates because that's yesterday. I have a 2-year-old in my classroom who's officially 2, and her birth year is 2019. Ma'am, that was yesterday. That was 10 days ago.
Oh, what?
Like, I'm not okay with having a 2019 baby in my room. She's still a newborn. I can't, like, every time I think about it, it just freaks me out. Even Harper being born in 2018, I'm like, she's not old enough to turn 3 this year.
What do you
She's
mean?
turning 1. She's a baby. She's still on her super high calorie formula because she was born too tiny. Like, I don't... It was like protein powder for babies. And it was a miracle if she could drink a syringe of it. And now she's like this whole human.
Wild.
Are you friends with my sister on Snapchat?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna send you her Snapchat. You need to be friends with her because she posts so many cute pictures on her story of harpsichord. Like, she posted a picture. She was just sitting in her little chair in her room, reading books, just flipping through the pages very calmly. I'm like, who's this kid?
Who is this?
Who is this? Like, that's not my niece. No way. Okay. I almost said the username out loud, but I don't want everyone friending my sister on
Don't dox
Snapchat.
your sister.
No kidding. I would say you can friend me on Snapchat, but you can't. I don't have one of those, like, public figure accounts, so no. Inspector Gadget. Did you watch Inspector Gadget growing up? Because that was, like, my family's movie. I haven't watched it in so long.
Science class all the time in, like, middle school.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was released in 1999. That was 3 years before I was born. not okay.
We're just feeling nostalgic this week, I guess.
What's up? It's definitely my internet that's causing all these problems because the internet people came to fix it and made it like 8 times slower. And they didn't hook up our 5G. They only hooked up our normal. So we've been having problems for like the past month.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So apologies. I definitely just talked through all of that explaining my internet problems. But Inspector Gadget, man, now I gotta watch Inspector Gadget. I don't even remember what it's about other than, like, the guy that turns into the half robot because he gets blown up or something? He's in some accident? I don't remember. And then there's a villain that's trying to take his technology. I remember at one point he gets sprayed with something blue. That movie is burned into my brain, but not the important parts. Just, like, he's turned blue.
Yeah.
So anyway... What's trending on Twitter? 32 minutes later.
32 minutes later. The stuff that happened at the Capitol on Wednesday.
Yeah, we don't condone that.
We don't.
No. Stop being, awful. I'm trying to think of a word here that I can use. That is child appropriate. Because I have a lot of words running through my head, but they're not all appropriate. Stop trying to overthrow the government because your pouty face that you lost. I don't know, have you seen the tweet that's going around that's like, in 2016, they were yelling at Democrats who needed to just, quote, get over it and accept that they lost, and now the Republicans are upset because they can't get over it because they lost. And it's like, what?
Huh?
I like the screenshot of the tweet that says, if Democrats lose, they're gonna threaten to overthrow the government or something. And then a bunch of people posting it right after the coup with, oh, really?
Yeah.
It's, super not great. Don't be an idiot.
Do that. Don't do that.
Don't try and overthrow the government because you're sad. In other news, I made it onto sea shanty TikTok, and I'm obsessed.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Okay, I'm gonna send you the tweet that got me onto it. Send via direct message. Katrina, I never send tweets to just you, and not you in a group chat.
Yeah.
It's just, it's so good.
Wow.
It's great.
That is amazing.
It's so good! And it's even better because the initial singer is like, he's either Scottish or Irish, so he's got a super thick accent, and it's just perfect. Oh man, it's just so good. I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah, that is so iconic.
With sea shanty TikTok. In fact, I followed the hashtag, and I never follow the hashtags. That's how you force yourself onto a side of TikTok, by the way.
Fair enough.
Did you see Olive Garden was taking away never-ending pasta passes?
No.
For people that they, so, like, if they were registered as having the never-ending pasting pass, and then they were also found to be someone at the coup.
Really?
They took away their pass.
Oh, wow.
And, like, when Olive Garden is doing more for this country than the country itself, like the country's leaders.
Oh, no.
We're so screwed. I'm laughing because I'm in pain. Also, one of the guys that was there is from Des Moines, and the company that hired him said, or that he worked for said, oh, we're not gonna fire him, it's whatever. And so then everybody went on their their Google page and left 1-star reviews.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he got arrested. He's being charged with 5 federal offenses or something. I want to see. one of the questions on the Q&A section is, do you advertise on Parler? Which is the, like, Trump version of Twitter.
Oh.
Has your company built any federal prisons lately? Do you hire and support insurrectionists? Meeting customer expectations by employing the highest degree of quality, skilled, and professional people. So, this is your mission statement. Do you also employ those who look to kidnap the VP of the US and possibly harm them too? How unique!
Oh, like, boy.
People went off, and it's awful that happened, obviously. But these Google reviews are hilarious. But then there's one that's a 5-star review. Thank you for being on the right side of history. And it's like, buddy. This is an open note test and you're failing. Like, buddy.
It's something else for sure.
Uh-huh. Anyway, I'm depressed. What's trending? Speaking of I'm depressed, what's trending on YouTube?
So there were a couple videos on trending that were about this topic, but also just, like, I've noticed this a lot in general. But, the 2020 creator burnout, like...
I felt it. Have you felt it?
I felt it.
We're not even big creators, and I've felt it.
But there were so many creators that either stopped making content, like, at the end of the year, I know, Alex Wasabi, Lord DIY, who else? Did you see any of those?
I know that Molly, she didn't stop making content, but she had to retire her service dog, and then immediately, like, after, posted a video, and she was like, I'm not okay. Like, this year, I get I'm in a place of privilege, but this year has hit me really hard, and I'm not okay. Which I think it's important to recognize, even though, yes, they are in a place of privilege by having their following, like, YouTubers can still be struggling.
Yeah.
Creators can still be struggling with mental health, and that doesn't mean they're ungrateful for what they have. It means that everyone has their own challenges, and as long as, like, we need to respect that, as long as the creators aren't like, oh, my problems are the worst, no one has it as bad as me, I ran out of dog food, so I had to go myself and not send someone to get it for me. Like, as long as they're not being like that, I 100% understand and support that, and understand, like, 2020 was hard. And personally, I don't think 2021 is going to be any better. And these past 10 days have proved that to me, that, like, just with, like, I've had a lot of family friends that have been going through some things. I've known 4 people that have lost someone already this year.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like how 2013 started to me, and that was the year my dad passed. So I don't have high hopes for this year.
Yeah.
But I think it's just important to recognize throughout the year that everyone has their struggles. And as long as you acknowledge everyone has their struggles and aren't trying to act like you're the only one with struggles, like, it's hard. Life is hard. And we as a society have to be better at being okay talking about our mental health and reducing the stigma around it. Because I think that's what a lot of it is all these creators are having these mental health issues because they feel that they don't get to have problems because they're in a place of privilege.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And that's me deflecting at the end, saying I don't know. My therapist yells at me every time I do it. Sometimes I zone out in session and she brings me back in by talking about Sky. And, like, it's kind of sad, but also the fact that she knows to do that just shows I have a great therapist.
Yeah.
Yeah, so creator burnout is real even when they're coming from a place of privilege. Everyone has mental health struggles, whether they're ready to admit it or not. Personally, I think every person should be in at least monthly therapy. Like, y'all don't need to be going weekly like I am right now. But I think it's important to have someone you can always touch base with, because even when I'm at my best mentally, I don't stop therapy. Because at the very least, it's somewhere I can let everything out without feeling like a burden on someone else for releasing all my problems onto them, you know?
Yeah.
So, do you want to talk about something more lighthearted?
Yeah, we could answer some listener questions.
What are our listeners questioning?
Our first listener question is from @Kane_I, and they ask, could you, from freshman years of high school, see you starting a podcast?
I mean, I think you especially know.
Yeah, I definitely
You have
could.
grown so much, it's not even funny. Like, you went from me having to lead the entire conversation the whole time to now you stream on Twitch on your own.
Yeah.
Like, you have grown so much, and watching that has been super cool. Even if you still claim that you're shy at school, you didn't used to participate in Socratic seminars, and now you do.
Yeah. I've definitely grown in confidence since I've started the podcast. And freshman year me, definitely, I would not, if someone had come up to me and said, hey, you're starting a podcast in a year, I would have laughed in their face.
Pretty much.
Because talking as, like, a hobby, that was just so foreign to me. So I was just like, oh. Guess this is a thing now.
I mean, I don't know that talking is our hobby.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how else to, like, put it, because I don't think freshman year me really knew that much about podcasts.
I still don't know that much about podcasts.
Me either.
Like,
'cause
what am I doing?
I'm pretty sure that I didn't, hang on, let me check. Yeah, I didn't join the WB&E Discord until, like, I guess it was my sophomore year, so I wouldn't have known, because I didn't really listen to that many podcasts, so.
I still don't listen to podcasts, which is like a very poorly kept secret, I feel like, at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I've started listening to audiobooks, though, so maybe it'll help me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've listened to one all the way through. I started The Hate U Give. I am on chapter 6, I believe.
Nice.
Because I'm doing the WB&E reading challenge this year. And I know I'm gonna lose, but to me it's about finishing books that I start that I'm, like, interested in, because I have a terrible habit of getting 3 chapters into a book and getting too distracted, putting it down, and never picking it back up again. Like, literally my bookshelf is full of books that have a bookmark in them about 3 to 5 chapters in.
Yeah.
So my goal is, if I am interested in a book, and I, like, do want to read it, I'm gonna finish it if I start it. So my goal is not to win the reading challenge, but it's to read. Or listen to read.
Rachel just now learning to read at age 18.
No, okay, so here's my problem. I'm all or nothing with a book. I can read it all in one sitting, or it takes me a month to get through it. And my problem with audiobooks is if there are any words on the screen, or, like, any words anywhere, like, I get distracted by something and I start flipping through pages of my textbook or something, I completely tune out the audiobook, or I completely tune out the words I'm reading. So I have to be, like, doing a puzzle, or I can play Sims, because you don't really read in Sims. Like, you do a little, but you kind of go on autopilot. So Sims, laundry, puzzles, cleaning, as long as I'm not, like, vacuuming or anything, I can listen to an audiobook. But it's so hard for me. Like, I can't listen to it when I'm driving, or I get too distracted from driving and forget where I'm going, and that's not safe. Like, the only thing I can do when I drive is listen to music or have no noise. Mm-hmm. Which is concerning, but at least I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, how goes the driving? Are you driving much anywhere? Well, just, like, I don't know, you were, that's another thing, you were scared to drive.
Oh, yeah.
And now,
I was like, where did
we
that
have the
come
incident
from?
happening,
We were talking
so are you
about
driving?
you listening to audiobooks, and then you're
While
just like,
driving.
so how's the driving going? But driving has gotten a lot better for me, because I've almost had my license for a year, which is really weird to me.
Same.
But
especially because you protested getting it so much at first.
Well, it was just that it wasn't me protesting it. It was that I didn't want to, like, go in without knowing that I would do well. And so, yeah. But, yeah, I've definitely got more confident in driving as well. Because, not necessarily in the snow, because it snowed today.
You're gonna have to work on that one. You live in a snowy place.
Yeah, it was funny this morning because we were taking 2 cars to church because my mom had to work, and so I was like, oh, we could do a kid's car and an adult car, and they're like, you didn't realize it snowed last night, did you? And I'm like, nope, guess you're driving.
Never mind, goodbye.
Never mind, I'm good. Like, I can drive in small amounts of snow, but when it's actively snowing.
Do you plan on taking a car to college?
Yeah.
Okay, hun, you're gonna have to figure it out.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Like, I don't know how else to put it. You're gonna have to.
I know I'm going to have to, but, like...
I mean, I drove in our last snowstorm, where we got 9 inches. But I didn't drive far.
Yeah.
Just brake way sooner than you think you need to, and go about 5 to 10 miles an hour slower than you need to. Or you think you need to.
I've driven in snow before, I just haven't done it in, like, a while. 'Cause, pre the incident, I drove in the snow a little bit. Didn't necessarily end well all the time, because one time the window wasn't defrosting fast enough, and so I pulled into a random parking lot and cried and called my dad. I was like, Dad, the window isn't defrosting and I don't want to crash the car. What do I do?
You use the spray on your windshield and it swishes it away.
I didn't know.
Like, windshield cleaner? They make it so it defrosts, like it doesn't freeze. But also,
I know that
I
now.
have an alarm set for 10 minutes before I'm supposed to leave my house, and that is alarmed specifically so I go out and start my car. So that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And that's living in the Midwest. For me, like, it's the only way I get out of the door on time. And even then, sometimes, like, I'll start at 5 minutes instead of 10 minutes, and it's not enough time. But, like, 10 minutes is too long, and 5 minutes isn't long enough.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know, it's weird. I'm very weird about it.
But, yeah.
Well, that's fun.
What's our next listener question,
Oh my gosh, we
Rachel?
still only answered one. Our next listener question is from @Melmic222.
Hi, Mom.
What's up? And she says, what was your favorite Christmas moment? I got rainbow Converse. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I was like, oh, maybe I should wear them when I take Sky to the dog park later. And I realized wearing white Converse to the indoor dog park is probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
Because, like, my dog is potty trained, but puppies go there too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, speaking of which, we're gonna start fostering puppies.
Ooh, yay!
We got approved, and they said we could be matched as soon as a week.
That's cool.
And then, once the puppies are in your home, though, they post them on Facebook, and they are almost never there more than a month. So,
yeah.
our house will be a revolving door of puppies, and I'm very excited for it.
My favorite Christmas moment... Probably when I got my second monitor, because I didn't really know how to set it up, but I was very excited, and I felt very professional once I set it up, because I was like, oh, look, I am in an office now.
Jeez. Yeah, I wonder how tech stores did this Christmas. Because, like, normally they do well around Christmas, right? But this is...
Yeah. Incident Christmas.
They just slowed down awkwardly right at our driveway like they were going to pull in. But I think they were getting to the mailbox, which is on the other side of the driveway. So, like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Christmas feels like it was forever ago.
It does. I mean, it
so
has
much has happened.
It's been, like, 2 weeks, so, like, half a month, I guess.
It's been closer to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, I guess. Yeah, it has been. Fun fact, my mom's birthday is exactly a month after Christmas, and that's the only way I ever remember it, which sounds bad, but at least I remember it. Could be worse.
Yeah.
Katrina!
Yes, Rachel?
Can it be time for our favorite segment on this podcast? Let's take a BuzzFeed quiz.
Yes, it can.
I've stopped messing it up as much. Our BuzzFeed quiz this week is be brutally honest about which foods you'd eat and will reveal which Disney princess is your twin. Picky eaters have big Princess Jasmine energy. Alright, what's our first question. I almost said our fourth question, and that would
Our
make sense.
fourth. Just
Started in the middle, now we're here.
Our first demand is choose a breakfast. Eggs, pancakes, granola, toast.
I don't normally eat breakfast, except right now I have to or my doctor yells at me. Because it's bad for my stomach to drink. Well, technically it's bad for everyone's stomach to drink coffee on an empty stomach. But mine particularly likes to rebel.
Yeah.
So I'll say toast. But in reality, I mean a bagel with cream cheese.
I will do pancakes.
Alright, next demand is choose a snack. Popcorn, fruit, cookies, or almonds. Popcorn, always.
I don't feel like half of these are like a snack.
I mean, it depends on the mood I'm in. Because I could eat all of these as a snack.
Ooh, I'm gonna pick fruit because we got cartons of raspberries at, like, the grocery store, and whenever I get a carton of raspberries, I just, like, eat the whole thing in one sitting.
So sometimes we'll buy them from the grocery store, but a lot of times we get them from Costco, and then I'll eat, like, because the Costco one is, like, 2 containers put together, and it's even, like, there's a divider in the middle, so it's supposed to be 2 connected containers. I will eat one of them and then forget the other exists and they get moldy. So we're not allowed to pick up raspberries at Costco anymore because I don't eat them all. But also looking at this picture, and it looks like the picture on the front of the Welch's fruit snacks.
True.
What's our next demand?
Our next demand is choose a lunch. Pizza, salad, sandwich, or hamburger.
Sandwich. Hamburgers like that are dinner food. You cannot tell me that's lunch.
Yeah, that's not lunch.
Pizza to me is still a dinner food because we always have it on Sundays for dinner.
I'll go with sandwich as well.
Alright, this one I will agree with you on. These are not snacks, but choose another snack. Chocolate, apple, bread, or fries. The only one of these that is a snack to me is apple. So I guess apple.
I mean...
Did I say that I picked sandwich for the last one? Because I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will pick fries, I guess.
What's our next demand?
Our next demand is choose a dinner. Waffles, breakfast for dinner. Pasta, spring rolls, or barbecue.
Pasta. I love saying pasta because it annoys people.
I'll do pasta too, I guess.
Pasta. Next demand is choose a dessert. Crepes, cake, ice cream, brownies. Crepes. So good.
Brownies.
Okay, I got mine.
What'd you get?
Elsa. Back to me gatekeeping Frozen.
Oh boy. I got Mulan.
I love Mulan.
Me too.
What's your description?
My description says, you're strong-willed, smart, and will prove yourself in this world. You always know how to find the way to get things done.
Mine is, you may be icy on the outside, but when you're feeling vulnerable, you're powerful, an amazing friend, and you'll find where you belong.
Oh.
They nailed me on the icy on the outside thing. If I don't like you, I don't like you. But if I like you, we're best buds. There's no in between.
I don't know about strong-willed and knowing how to find a way to get things done as the biggest procrastinator alive, but...
I mean, but you eventually get it done, don't you?
True.
Alright, is there anything else we need to talk about this week? Or can I go snuggle my puppy?
I think that's it.
Oh, you know what you should go do, Katrina?
What should I do as a listener?
As a listener, you should go to patreon.com/perspective_Z and hit any of those support tabs, but that $3 one is our Discord tier. It's definitely, I think, our best one. But that's just me. That's just me personally here, voicing my opinion as the creator. Feel free to disagree, but you'd be wrong, unless you think it's a higher tier, in which case join that one. Patreon.com/perspective_Z. Be there or be triangle.
Is there anything else we need to talk about?
I don't think so.
Well, in that case, this has been another episode of Perspective Z. That's been Rachel.
That's been Katrina, who stole my line.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.